When?
What's your
Yeah.
birthday?
In 1899.
What date? Do you know the date?
January, oh, yeah, I can show you.
So, Grandma, was you born in Whitehall?
I was born down where we lived in the country, the last time we lived in the country. That was where I was born and raised.
Brad?
That's where the house is still standing, right?
The house is getting old, it's about to fall down, but the Wrightingtons don't own it anymore. Fred Moulton owns it now.
Yeah.
He bought it when my mother died.
It's amazing though that the house is still standing. You know, after all these years.
Yeah, and the brush has grown up. No one lives there. The brush
Yeah.
has grown up all around it. You was down there. You took some pictures of
Yeah.
the house.
Yeah, we got them in the photo album there. Yeah.
It's in a worse shape now than it was then.
That house is over 100 years old, right?
Yeah. I believe the folks said when they first moved in there, they was just the 3 rooms, but they added the upstairs to it, and then they added a couple of rooms on the back.
Oh.
What? He likes to do it himself.
Hmm?
He wants to do it by himself. He doesn't
Yeah.
want me to do it.
So-
Independent.
Grandma, when did you move? When did you move away from the farm?
Well, we moved away when, when we moved, Kathy told me the other day, she was 9 years old in October the 11th, and 30,
Give me a bite.
well, it'll be 33 years in October.
Give me a bite.
He wasn't able to farm anymore, so we moved to town. We moved over in a little house on Franklin Street.
Yeah, the one down by the creek, right? Yeah.
Then
Give me a bite.
you remember that, don't you?
Oh yeah.
And then we moved, or I was up to Bloomington a year, then I moved the trailer down here.
Yeah.
And I guess I lived there in the trailer till
Bite.
1981, and I moved over here to this place. And I was over there till just 2 years ago. I moved from there. I moved over here the first day of July 2 years ago.
You like this place a lot?
Huh?
You like this place a lot more better? Lot brighter, huh? More sunshine
Yeah.
coming in.
A lot better. I hope I can stay here. Don't have to move anymore.
Yeah.
But you never know.
So, Grandma, when you went to school, did you have a long walk to go to school when you were younger?
Huh?
When you were younger, did you have a long walk to go to school?
About 2 miles.
Really? You had to
Well,
do
we could cut through the pasture when there wasn't any cows up there. We were afraid of everything. And cut off about half a mile, I guess. But I never went to high school.
You never went to high school? How come?
Never got through grade school. My younger brothers and sisters went to high school, but I never did any. My older brothers and sisters never did.
So can you think of anything about Mom when she was younger?
Your mom was a very quiet little girl. Bill and Verta did most of the talking around our house. Some of the neighbors said they could understand why Dean and Alfred and Jim didn't talk very much. Bill and Verta didn't give them a chance.
Yeah.
But she was pretty quiet.
Yeah.
No.
Didn't talk much, huh?
Huh?
Didn't talk much. She's pretty shy. She's pretty shy. Didn't talk a whole lot. Yeah.
And they used to when they was little, actually, and Berta and Joanne Howard that lived right close to us had them a playhouse along the branch. So that's where they spent most of their days in the summertime. And in the winter, if they snow on, they like to ride down. They had a hill there that it's good to ride down.
Did you give Mom a lot of whippings?
Huh?
Did you ever give Mom a lot of whippings?
Well, I've spanked them all at different times. But,
Who
I
got
don't
the
remember
most?
now what for.
Who got the most?
Huh?
Who got the most?
That's hard to say.
Is any of them ever rebellious?
Well, it was. I can't complain much about them. They minded pretty good.
Go put this back.
They would argue sometimes, but then I think children should do that. They should express their own opinion. You can't always let them have their opinion, but you don't know what they're thinking unless they do tell you.
Can you remember any incident where you caught them doing something wrong? You know, like smoking behind the house or anything like that, or?
No, they probably did that. I think most all kids around us tried to smoke with us, but I never did ever catch them.
Did you? School? Did they all have to walk to school?
Yeah.
How far did they have to walk?
Well, it was maybe a mile. We lived back in the field, back off in the road, and if they'd went around the road, it would have been 2 miles or maybe more. But they could cut right across the fields, and it was right at a mile, I guess. Field, working, and things have changed so much since then. Now I wouldn't let children nowadays roam around all over the place like they did. And I was talking about it one day to Alistine. I said, I let them go to the woods or the field, and she laughed and said, in hopes we wouldn't get back. I said, yeah, along about mealtime here, you all come back in. But I wouldn't let children roam around like that.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta keep your doors locked. There's a lot of crazy people out there these days.
We never locked a door when we lived in the country. Never even thought about locking a door.
Yeah.
But I would now if I lived in the country.
Yeah.
But we didn't then.
Yeah.
Chase, lay down my shirt. Where do you meet?
At the ball game, down on Painter's pasture. And the boys would play every Sunday. Of course, the girls went, I don't know whether to watch the ball game or to watch the boys, but anyhow, we went. That's where I met him at. And the first date I had with him, though, I was at a show, a tent show in town, and he come in and sat down by me. Took me home, and we went together ever since.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Come here.
And that was it.
Well, when did y'all get married?
Huh?
When did y'all get married?
We got married in October
Where at?
at Whitehall, the Baptist Church.
Oh, where's your
And we lived with his folks for a couple of years, and then we built us a little 2-room house across the road from them. Lived there for a while, and then we moved on my dad's place out west of Whitehall,
Yeah.
and lived there for 10 years. And then we moved to a place over close to Patterson for 5 years.
Yeah.
Then we moved to Van Tile's place east of Whitehall Stayed there about 3 years. And then we moved back down to the home place where I was raised.
Is that the farm?
The farm?
Uh-huh, that farm. And we stayed there till, I think, about 14 years. And then Elmer got sick and we moved to town.
What did you farm?
Huh?
What did y'all farm at the farm?
It raised, we milked cows and raised chickens and just,
Just the regular things you.
yeah.
Farm thing. Chase,
So-
get out of the camera.
And we also raised 5 children.
Five children.
5 kids, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come here.
Who's the first baby?
Bill.
Bill was? Yeah. Do you remember when you had him?
He was 70 years old, 27th of June.
70? I mean, do you remember when you had him and where you had him when he was born?
Yeah, east of Whitehall, about 3 miles.
Yeah.
Stop it. Did your kids act like this?
Huh?
Did your kids act like this? Ah. Ask her.
Let me ask you about Mom. Do you remember when Mom was young? When Mom was a little girl?
Yeah,
Do you
I
remember?
remember.
Do you remember some of the things she used to do?
Yeah, she was a pretty good little girl. If Bill and Verda, they was older, and she followed them around, just like when they got in them. A mud hole. Bill was laughing about that this morning. He heard his dad talk about it was wash day. I'd cleaned them up and put clean clothes on them and everything, and I washed all day, and just about to get through, and I looked out, and there was a big hole out there where it had rained. Learned to swim, and they were in that branch. They found a place deep enough where they could swim, and that's where they learned to swim.
Did you swim a lot?
Hmm?
Did you swim a lot?
I never did learn to swim.
You don't know how to swim?
My brothers had a swimming place they made in the branch where we lived, and but well, Mama thought it was awful for girls to swim then. She wouldn't let us swim.
Really? Well, that's when they had those long bathing suits, didn't you?
Huh?
Weren't your bathing suits real long?
I never had a bathing suit.
You never did?
Never went swimming, huh?
Huh?
Never went swimming at all?
Nope,
Yeah.
never did.
That's something that that's something that
My kids all learned to swim. Dean used to be a good swimmer. She could swim.